Hi, Reading 100 students. I hope you're doing well. The purpose of this video is to discuss the debate. Yes, this is the final big assessment. And let me share my screen with you. You should be able to see this now. Okay, and we're going to walk through it step by step. It's not as big as what you think it is. It's something you can actually do. Okay, it's really, really easy. Um, the easy part is the fact that you have done an argumentative. If you remember the argumentative structure, it's the same as a debate. Okay. So don't get too stressed out about it. It's not that difficult. It's actually a lot of fun. It's like you standing there and actually presenting. Okay. Right. So this is the final assessment. Okay, we're going to look at when is the debate, how will the debate work, what will the debate look like, and what will you do in the debate. Okay, so that's important. So the first thing, when is the debate? It's on May 24th and May 25th. May 24th and May 25th. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake there. It is May 24th, is not a Tuesday, it is a Sunday. And May 25th, it is a Monday. All right. I don't think I'm giving you these alternatives so that you can determine what would work for you. Okay. You just need to come in on those days. You need to specify it. All right. I only have you guys one class, so should be able to fit in both days. Okay. Make a note of it. The next step, oh my God, what just happened? No, 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 no. What just happened? Okay, there you go. Right. Next step, the debate structure. Right. Now, as I said to you, in a debate, think of the argumentative essay for and against. So, what does that mean? That means there will be two people debating each other. So, it will be you and another person debating on one topic. All right. One of you will be for the topic, one of you will be against the topic. Does it make sense? Yes. Super easy. So, how many people? Two. So, it should be you and a partner. All right. Very easy. Now, how is the structure of the debate? In a debate, you always have a preposition. The preposition is simply an introduction. You make an introduction, okay? Sorry, this recording thing is happening. You make an introduction, and your opponent also makes an introduction, okay? So you are doing a preposition, and your introduction is to say that you are either for or against. Now let's look at what an introduction looks like. What do you have? You have a hook, you have a bridge, and then you have your thesis statement. The same thing with your partner. They have a hook, they have a bridge, they have a thesis statement on the same topic, but opposites. Okay, one for and one against. Then argument one. One of you does the first argument. All right. And then the opposition does an argument two. Sorry, argument one. Then again, argument two. And the opposition does argument two. Then rebuttal one. And then rebuttal two. What is rebuttal? Counter argument. I know you guys are going to be like, what? You have, okay? You have heard it before. Rebuttal is the same terminology, and I'm going to type it in here, counter argument, right? And the same thing over here, counter argument. There you go, all right? Then at the end, you conclude. What does your conclusion consist of? Your conclusion consists of summarizing your debate, restating your thesis, and a call to action. The same thing with the opposition, summarizing your debate, restate your thesis, and you have a call to action. Does that make sense? So in total, your debate should be about 10, I would say 8 to 10 minutes maximum. 8 minutes to 10, nothing more than that. Okay? All right. I hope that is clear. So your debate introduction, right? You have 20 to 30 minutes seconds each. In your introduction, you have your hook, you have your bridge, you have your thesis statement. These are words that you should know. So remember that it's not any different from what you've done in the argumentative essay. You introduce your introduction, your opponent introduces their introduction on the same topic, but the opposites for the topic. One of you will be for it, the other one will be against it. After the debate, you have the argument, okay? How do we introduce our argument? You state your topic sentence, you have your point, your evidence, your explanation, and your link. The same with the opposition. Point, evidence, explanation, and link. Okay? That's what you do. That's argument 1. And you do the same thing with argument 2. All right? So here's an example. All right? Proposition and then the opposition. For example, the argument. One person says vaping should be banned because of the negative health impacts. All right? That's argument 1. That's from Iran. Then the opposition will say vaping should not be banned because it is safer than smoking cigarettes. That's Yasmin's argument. Okay? Do you see? They need to correlate. You can't say that, oh, vaping should be banned because of emission, and then the other person is talking about health. No, it needs to be the same. The reasonings need to be the same, but they should be the opposites. Okay? Why is it bad for the health? Why is it better for the health? I don't know. Okay? Right? You need to figure it out. Right? So it should pretty much follow something like this. The same thing with argument 2, which is paragraph 2, if you remember that, right? Paragraph 2. Then you have vaping should be banned because it mainly targets young people and teenagers. Then the opposition will say vaping should not be banned because because bans don't work. All right. So again, you introduce it both. What do you go through? Point, evidence, explain, link. All right. Both of you. All right. But look at the main point here. I want you just to be clear. So one says it should be banned because it targets young people. And the other one said it should not be banned because it doesn't work. So remember, it needs to kind of correlate. You need to kind of argue on the same thing. You can't be arguing on even vaping, but completely opposite things, okay? You have to kind of argue on the same parameter, all right? Then after you've done the argument, then it's the rebuttal. This is not practiced. It is based on listening and notes during the debate. Okay? You are not going to practice this part. This is about notes. So you need to listen to your opponent and you have to make notes and then you have to refute them. Okay? You're not going to come in prepared with this part. The only parts that you're going to prepare is argument 1 and argument 2. All right? And then the rebuttal part, this one, you have to, in the time of the debate, when you are in my office doing it, you have to listen so that you can take notes and rebut, okay, to refute, to counter argue your opponent, okay? All right? So how does that work? Basically, all right, the rebuttal first, the person who is the first one to argue makes his preposition, and then the opposition responds to it. All right. Then the next person does its proposition and the other person responds to it. Does that make sense? So your rebuttal is arguments 1 and 2, but they are in real time. Okay. You are sitting there, you're listening to what the person is saying, you're making notes, you're making an evaluation so that you can get up and refute their point. Okay. So you do not, this part, you come and you do it in real time. The first parts you go and you prepare at home. Then you have your conclusion. Okay? Your conclusion is 20 to 30 seconds. Again, you restate the thesis, you summarize your debate, and you do a call to action. Both people do the same thing, right? So the argument, what makes an argument strong? It needs to have clarity. Your argument should be easy to understand and easy to follow. If I'm sitting there, I need to know from your first introduction, oh, this person is against vaping. Oh, this person is for vaping. It needs to be clear. So clarity is important. Don't just spend time trying to find the most difficult words. No, difficult words won't help you, especially if you don't use them. It's better to use words that you understand and you know, and you can use them effectively. Okay. Argument with evidence. Support your claims of facts, statistics, or examples. Evidence make your argument really strong. And that's why I say to you, follow the Peel method. Point, evidence, explain, and link. Okay. And of course, organization. You always have to argue in a logical fashion. There needs to be a claim, there needs to be a reason, there needs to be an evidence, there needs to be a conclusion. You cannot have things all over the place and then you say one thing over here and then you say something else over there. That's why I say follow the Peel structure that will help to organize your thoughts. Okay. So what will you do? You will prepare, all right, and present your introduction or your conclusion. You prepare and present your arguments, and you participate in a rebuttal, all right, to respond to the other person's side. So you prepare and you present your introduction or conclusion, you present your arguments, and you participate in the rebuttal. And I only need 2 people, so it should be 2 people maximum, all right? First, you prepare. So you develop your argument well organized from start to finish, complete, covers your claim and evidence, rehearse so you can speak confidently. That is what you're going to do in the next week. Prepare your argument, okay? Then second, present it so that the audience understands, and the audience is me. You're going to be doing it with me, all right? So the audience is persuaded. We talked about rhetoric. You speak clearly and you make eye contact. You avoid logical fallacies. That's why we're doing them. And you stick to what we've taught you, such as research, okay? Data, all right? The language that you're using, the transitions that you're using, the structure that you have learned throughout the semester. You're actually going to speak within that structure. Okay. I'm going to post for you guys examples of a debate so that you have some clarity as to how it should be done. You're going to work on this and you're going to start preparing it. And I'm going to just stop sharing my screen. All right. And the first thing that you need to do, all right, I'm going to go over here. The first thing you need to do, you need to go to this form that I'm going to share with you. And on this form, you need to write your name and your opponent's name, okay? Because remember, you're going to come in twos, all right? Then after that, which date you are anticipating to do it. Do you want to do it on May 24th? They're going to start at 9:30 or May 25th at 9:30, okay? You need to choose those ones. Then the next one, what is your debate topic? Remember, it is similar to an argumentative structure, so it needs to be arguable. Tell me your topic, all right? And who is for and who is against, all right? You need your sources to support your argument. Write them down here with the links. You need 2 sources. You and your partner can use 2 different sources. You can use similar sources, okay? And if you have any questions, you can write it in there as well, all right? So this is all available on Moodle. I will be available Tuesday morning online to answer your questions and to guide you in this. It is easy. Just think of the argumentative essay structure. Now you're going to do it in real time and you're actually going to have an actual debate between you and your opponent. All right? Please fill out the forms so that you get started. The deadline of the form is May 20th. Start now. Don't wait for it. Grab a friend in your class, okay? There are 24 of you. Grab somebody and just say, listen, let's start doing our debate. What was your argumentative essay about? Should we pick your topic or not, or mine? Pick a topic and start formulating your arguments, okay? All right. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always available. Thank you.